Making his professional debut by decision in March, Exeter, California's Edgar Loza looks to pick up his first TPF victory. The Team KO product will call upon a skill set that earned him 3 wins as an amateur. Tonight, he looks to make good in his Tachi Palace Fights debut. Despite losing his TPF debut in November to Alex Barajas, Carruthers, California's Evan Solario has shown a wealth of talent, which earned him 5 straight amateur victories. Before turning pro, Solario showed his ability to finish with 4 stoppages. Now, he looks to earn his first professional victory. Coming up next, it's a lightweight contest between Edgar Loza and Evan Pitbull Solario.
Edgar Loza makes the walk for the second time in his career. He trains here in the Central Valley, a variety of gyms. He frequents Team KO, Elites, One Kicks. He's getting it done wherever he can get in and kind of mix it up. Very tall lightweight, too. Stands about 5 feet 11 inches tall. You don't see a lot of guys at 155 pushing 6 feet.
Yeah, and actually he fights normally at 145. So this is a guy who's from my same area. I've trained with him before. He actually hadn't seen him in our gym in quite some time, and he came in about 2 weeks ago and said, hey, I took a fight short notice at the Tachi Palace. And so I said, yeah, I'm here, man. Do you want to spar? You want to do whatever? So I trained with him a little bit prior to this fight, but I'll tell you what, he's a guy who's got really good boxing, and he's a tall, like we said, he's a very tall guy for 55s or 45s, and he knows how to use his length, and I think that's the thing. He's got a good jab, he really knows how to use that jab. Again, we're in a small cage tonight, though, so it's a little more difficult to use footwork and keep a guy at distance when you don't have a bigger cage, so that could be a problem, but he definitely's got a good jab. He's just working on his kicks. He's been working on his ground game at our gym, Elite MMA and Jiu-Jitsu, but again, not always there. He kind of bounces around a lot. I'm not really sure what he's going after, but taking the fight on short notice, but he's definitely a game fighter for sure.
Still young, getting his feet wet. He will look to do work tonight at Tachi Palace Fights. Evan Solario also makes the walk for the second time tonight as a professional. He enjoyed success on the amateur circuit with a 5-2 victory. He lost his first fight by submission due to a triangle choke. So he's going to try to come back a little bit smarter if this fight should hit the ground.
Yeah, and Solario's he's a pit bull of a fighter. He hits like a truck, but sometimes it kind of bites him in the butt, and he gets a little too aggressive in there, and he gasses himself out a little bit. And we saw that in his last fight. It was a barn burner of a fight. It was back and forth. Both guys landed big shots, and eventually, his gas tank started to fade, and he got caught in a submission. I think tonight, if he's learned from that mistake, he's going to come out and be a little bit more, pick his shots, and be a little more technical out there if he wants to have success. We got 2 fighters that are primarily stand-up fighters, so that should be an exciting stand-up fight. Just from the outside, looking to the paper perspective, that's kind of how I foresee this one going.
Evan Solario fighting out of Carruthers, California. He trains with the Thrive Training Center. That's a gym that produces a lot of talent here at Tachi.
Yeah, Thrive's, a good gym there up in Fresno. Isaac De Jesus is a part owner of the gym. They've got some good boxing coaches, and Isaac does a good job with his fighters. There you see him giving them a hug. Definitely, they've got a good little staple of fighters. I've been there many times for training, and Evan's kind of that next guy coming up. So tonight's his opportunity to get that first pro win. Again, this is not an easy fight, and I like seeing that. I like seeing young fighters not take gimme fights. Take a guy that's going to test you in one area of the game or another. I think that's when you learn the most.
Richard Goodman does a very good job at matching guys up evenly throughout their careers. If there's 2 0-1 guys on a card, generally they're fighting one another. You don't see gross mismatches here at Tachi. Richard Goodman does a very good job. A moment ago, you mentioned Isaac De Jesus. You see him saying the final instructions to his fighter. He's been trying to get on the last couple fight cards here at Tachi. Hopefully he can get back inside the cage. Always love seeing the Bellator vet. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for this lightweight contest. Solario stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, 6 feet even for Loza. Both came in under the 155-pound limit there at lightweight. 25 years is the age of Evan Solario, 22 for Edgar Loza, and their pro records the same, 0-1 for both. Let's throw it up to Tyson Johnson for our particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next Tachi Palace fight is 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This fighter stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. He weighed in at 155 pounds. He represents Team KO with a mixed martial arts record of 0 wins and 1 defeat. He hails from Exeter, California. Please welcome Edgar El Pocho Loza. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. He weighed in at 155 pounds. He represents the Thrive Training Center with a mixed martial arts record of 0 wins and 1 defeat. He hails from Fresno, California. Please welcome Evan Pitbull Solario. And your referee for this bout will be Mark Lawley.
Referee Mark Lawley will oversee this lightweight contest. It is Evan Solario and Edgar Loza. Loza in the purple, Solario in the black. Kick early there from Loza. Responding in kind is Solario.
Nice heavy leg kick there from Solario.
Solario coming and swinging. Now he's got a headlock position. Might switch this to a guillotine.
Nice knee there, too. That thumping knee there to the thigh.
Ooh, again a nice knee there, but now we see Loza push Solario into the fence.
So anytime you say you're going to see a good stand-up fight, there's going to be 15 minutes of grappling.
Of course.
Like. Single leg here for Loza. I've trained with both guys. You know, they're primarily strikers, so it's interesting to see them kind of want to get in this grappling exchange. But here we are. We have a single leg with Loza. There's another knee off the break there.
Loza might be looking for the clinch because Solario's throwing some heavy kicks and knees.
Yeah, you know, Loza's primarily, a boxer. Oh, big right hand.
Loza on the run there, goes in for a takedown. Nice knee there by Solario. Now he's on top. Nice elbows there by Solario.
Got him pushed up against the cage here with that underhook. Loza's trying to wall walk, cage walk up right here, back to his feet. He's got to watch for knees.
Knee to the body there by Solario. Loza able to reverse the position now.
Comes an elbow, back to a single leg for Loza. He's sliding it out, though. He's doing a good job. Nice little body punch. He's got the single. Nice on job getting that underhook on that far side. Loza's really pressing hard for the takedown. You know, maybe he feels like he has an advantage on the ground. Both guys being primarily strikers, you know, sometimes you see a guy thinking, you know what, I think my ground game's progressed a little bit more than this guy's. Maybe I'm going to switch it up. And like you said, eating a couple big leg kicks could definitely change the game plan. Here comes some more knees.
Definitely something Solario wants to do is inside this clinch, continue peppering Loza.
And, you know, Loza, even though he took the fight on short notice, you know, I'm not sure what kind of conditioning he was in. He seemed to be okay when we were sparring, but maybe he's thinking, I'm going to tire this guy out, you know, push him against the cage. Even though, you know, Joe Rogan talks about it all the time, even though this isn't the most exciting thing to always watch, this is the most draining thing in MMA is cage fighting and cage wrestling. Or here comes a guillotine attempt.
He's selling out for it, too. He's got a deep block here going for, oh, he's out, stunned! Evan Solario taps out Edgar Loza. Nice guillotine choke there. You know, it looked like Loza tried to get free, but the cage was to his detriment there. He tried to go to his right, but the fence was right there.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, good job by Solario. Not the fight I was expecting to see at all. But yeah, you know, you want to play with fire, and that's what kind of Loza was doing. He was trying to engage with the wrestling, and Solario showing that he's getting better at his jiu-jitsu day in and day out, and you know, catches him in a guillotine, and there's nowhere for him to go. Like you said, he was trying to roll out or get out of that guard, but the cage prevented it, and he got caught.
Back-to-back first-round guillotines here inside the TPF cage. Here's the replay, Cody.
So
walk
he's
us
down
through.
for a singles, and this time Solario just frames up a little guillotine. He feels it. Once you feel it, he shoots down. What we see Loza do is looks like he's trying to get out of that. He's trying to get out of that guard, but the cage is keeping him there, and then he's got nowhere to go, so he's forced to tap.
Evan Solario getting it done by guillotine choke. Here's Tyson Johnson with the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes, 27 seconds into the first round, your winner by way of tap out, Evan Pitbull Solario.
Of his professional career, it's on a nice stage here at Tachi. It's a moment he'll never forget, Cody.
Definitely, you know, I mean, especially after that last fight, he's kind of a guy a lot of people have high hopes for. starting his career off 0-1. You know, sometimes you hear those guys who end up having really great careers, UFC fighters that, you know, maybe start off 0-3, 0-2, and they didn't give up. You know, they learned from their mistakes and they came back. And the same can be said for Loza. I know he's starting his career off 0-2 after some amateur fights, but, you know, two guys that definitely have a lot of upside for sure.
Absolutely. Evan Solaria will enjoy this victory tonight here in Lemoore. Don't forget, you can join in on our conversation. Do so using the hashtag TPF24. It is at TJ DeSantis, at the Renegade 559. You can also follow the promotion on Twitter at TPFMMA. Going to be back in action here coming up in November. Our final show of the year will take place November 19th. Tickets on sale soon. More information at the aforementioned Twitter handle and as well as TPF or TachiPalace.com. Again, the guillotine gets it done for Evan Solario.
Yeah, and you can tell he's trying to you know, get his butt up, and you know, he's trying to get out of that guard. He knows the right defense would look like, but he was caught there. The cage sometimes stops you.
3 fights in the books. Now a featherweight attraction inside the TPF cage.